The South African Boccia Federation is appealing for funding to send athletes to major events. Athletes are struggling to compete internationally due to a lack of funds, which is hampering the growth of the sports. They have to compete internationally so that they can accumulate points to boost their rankings in order to qualify for global events such as the Paralympic Games.
How do we go to the Paralympics if we can't get anything? So if I go to the Paralympics, of course I'm gonna make whoever proud, but and myself. But I can't go there unless if we get funds. We don't get funds. We don't get. Basically, we have to pay for our own accommodation, food, and whatever the cost is. What do you of commenting if they can't do it here? I mean, to get here, we have to put it. We have to take out our own money. Our own money, as you can see. Majority of us here, we have disabilities. We get disability grants. Even at 2.5. 2.5 is nothing. If they can only buy a few things, end of the month you have nothing. How do you expect to go to Paralympics if I can go around South Africa? No.
To talk more about the South African Boccia Federation, we're joined now by its convener, Marisa Potgieter. Marisa, very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. I mean, as we listen to some of the concerns and real realities of the athletes who say that they don't get funding, they have to fund themselves and very often miss out on bigger opportunities. Tell us more about the Federation.
Okay, so thank you once again for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Boccia South Africa. So Boccia South Africa, we are part of SABC, the South African Association for the Physically Disabled and Visually Impaired. Yes, so we're part of them, and we've the SASCOC. Yes, SABC is affiliated to SASCOC then. And SABC is also affiliated to World Boccia, the International Federation for Boccia. Yes. So we are one of the 7 sporting codes under SABC.
Talk to us then about some of the biggest challenges. I mean, we've just listened to concerns of one of the athletes just really painting the picture of the realities on the grounds. There is no funding. There's not much attention given to the federation and the athletes who want to pursue their talents.
Yes. So firstly, we want to thank the people that has been with us for the past 4 years or longer than that supported us on our way to our first ever Paralympics, which is SASCOC firstly, paying some funds for us, and SABC is supporting us in events prior to the Paralympics, and yes, and also Department of Sports, Arts and Culture also helped us a lot with some of our training camps and on our road to the Paris 2024. But it was not enough. We still need some more funding. Like I said, they helped a lot with all the stuff, but it's really high need athletes, as you saw on the video.
Yeah. It's
really high need athletes, and they need a carer or an assistant for their everyday ADL tasks, tasks of daily living. So some of them need feeding, some of them need to be dressed, some of them need help transferring from a bed to their chairs. So it's really our high need athletes. So the funding is really a big problem, as it's not one person you need to fund, it's basically 2 people. And to travel internationally, it makes it very hard for them and very expensive. So if we really want to be on par with the rest of the world, taking boccia to the next level and staying in line with all the other countries to participate at the Paralympics, especially for LA 2028, we really need to participate in more international competitions. And in order for us to go to international competitions, it's really expensive. It's more than 50,000 Rand per person. So if you times that by 2, it's 100,000 per person per athlete with their assistant to go to an international competition. And we need to do at least 2. And then also we need to do training camps in South Africa, and transport is a very big problem for our high need athletes. So that's also a very big problem to get them to and from provinces to only get to a training camp. So that's really a big issue for us.
As you make this call for funding, what are the loopholes you've identified in terms of the entire ecosystem from the moment, the sports needs to happen, the costing, and some of the doors that you've knocked on and the responses?
Yes, so the doors we knocked on, they really, like I said, they assisted us very well during the past years. And we really appreciate all their funds, because it really helped, especially for our 2 athletes with their ramp operators, to participate at events prior to the Paralympics. But like I said, it's just not enough. If we want to take a full team to the next Paralympics, LA 2028, it is 7 athletes. So it's 7 athletes, 7 assistants, and then it doesn't even include the team manager or a coach or a psychologist, because a sports psychologist we saw at the Paralympics is really a really major thing that we need to add to Boccia South Africa, as it's a very strategic and mental game that they need, that challenges our athletes. They're not used to high-level pressure like this. So it doesn't even include those people in the funding. And they also need to travel with the team in order to get to help the athletes.
So very lastly, I mean, talk to us a little bit about the scale of the game and the reach and some of the competition as you try and elevate the sports and ensure that there is participation and that funders are there if they want to reach out to help you, how they get access to you, and just a broad understanding about the impact that the Federation makes.
Okay, so SAPD really makes a very big impact on our athletes, especially our Boccia athletes. That's our high need athletes. Some of them can't do anything else. Boccia is like their whole life. So it really gives them meaning. And for these athletes, it's their everything. So for them to be part of a sport, part of a national championships or international events, playing for their country, is really important for them. And like I said, it gives them meaning in their lives. So that really helps these athletes. And just the journey the 2 athletes were on for Paris 2024, how they grew as individuals, making them stronger. And obviously we need coaches. We need to empower our coaches in all the provinces. So obviously coaching courses will be beneficial for our coaches in order to get them on an international level as well, so that they can train our athletes to the best of their abilities in order to get in line with international athletes as well. So yes, but like I said, it gives them meaning. And internationally, most of the people do this as a job, is their occupation, Boccia. But in South Africa, everybody does it as volunteers. And that's what makes it so special, because we are all a family, especially the Boccia family. We all do it because we love the sport Boccia, and we know how much that means to our athletes.
And yeah, this is the last question. What is the game about? How does it work?
Okay, so in a nutshell, you have 2 different colored balls. One player is red and one player is blue, and there's a jack ball, which is the white ball. And you need to get your colored balls as close to the white ball, the jack ball, as possible. So for all your colored balls, say you're red, and that's closer than the blue ones, you score a point. Yes, and it gets played indoors on a court the size of a badminton court. So it's very strategic, and with every ball, or with each ball, the game can change. So you need to think on the dot. You need to make plans after each ball has been played, in order to get as many points as you can.
Very well, thank you. Thanks for speaking to us this evening, hoping that someone is listening and can assist there. South African Boccia Federation, as Marisa Potgieter talking there about some of the concerns and challenges that are contained within the sport.